Hey guys, girls. So I went to see. This is an update for the myelodysplasic syndrome, as they call it. I went to see the bone marrow transplant doctor and the cancer doctor on Wednesday and Thursday, 14th and 15th. Well, one of them was going to let me ride it out till the end of the school year. He said, "Oh, you'd be fine." And the other one, the actual bone marrow transplant doctor, said, "No, we need to go ahead." So what we're doing is we're gonna do another bone marrow biopsy and confirm that the bone marrow blast and all that stuff hasn't gotten any worse or whatever. I mean, it has not turned into leukemia yet, but the transplant guy says 20 to 30% chance of between now and end of the school year. Okay. So I have so many thoughts running through my brain. So 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to be in UAB hospital getting a light beating with chemo. He said it's not the red devil. It's a little bit not as bad, but it's still going to be 2 weeks of chemo to burn out my stem cells and to burn out my immune system. And he also said it would burn out several other things, which would come back. Now, for those of you that watch these videos for educational purposes, I want to let you know that so he said it would basically chemically castrate me. There would be no more having babies. Of course, look at me, look at my age. I got clipped over 30 years ago, so it really doesn't matter. But he did say that for a little while there would be some erectile dysfunction, but that will come back, and it's because of the chemo. He also said, depending on our testosterone numbers, hopefully we won't have to, but if they are low, he will give me testosterone injections. It will also burn out your mesenteric gut, all this stuff. Chemo is the devil. I mean, they try to heal you with it or use it as a tool to heal you, but it does a lot of bad stuff as well as good stuff. So for those of you trying to or anticipating about to do chemo or whatever, that is one of the main reasons I want this all documented, I guess. So on the 28th or 29th of this month, we're going to do another bone marrow test. Then probably 2 weeks later, I will be in the hospital getting the chemo. He did say, I think I said this earlier, I'm not sure. He said it would be a lighter chemo than what a lot of people call the red devil. He said there will be days that I don't feel like eating, and they will be giving me basically, in essence, banana bag through the IV. So the first 2 weeks in the hospital is what he calls the beating period. Then the second 2 weeks is babysitting to make sure my numbers are coming up. This is after I've gotten the stem cells and all that stuff. Now, if I'm not running fevers and having complications, hiccups, and all that stuff at the end of the 2 weeks, I get to go home. Now, initially, they were going to make me stay on campus. They have slight little hotels that they have for their cancer patients, and you have to have a caregiver. Can't be by yourself. Got to make sure you're taking all your medicines. If you have any issues, yada yada, get you to the hospital. We're not taught. He doesn't anticipate bleeding or anything like that. What he anticipates is like, starting to run fever, getting an infection, having some reaction to the stem cells. Graft donor syndrome, I think is what they call it. So it's a myriad of stuff that can go wrong. Doesn't mean it will go wrong. My donor is a 9 out of 12. Now they look at markers, is what the way he explained. See, I was thinking, that's like 80-90% match. Okay, so what they're actually looking at is the markers in the DNA. So this guy has 9 out of 12 of my markers. So we're not 100%, but we're pretty close. It's 9 out of 12. That's why I'll be on the anti-graft syndrome medications afterwards. So he was gonna make me stay in the little area for post transplant, and I explained to him, well, we have our granddaughter, and we have custody of her, and we have nowhere to send her, and we homeschool, and school just started. So minimum we're talking about is 90 days. So like if let me get up here so you can. So like if I go in and I have no hiccups and I get out of the hospital and I do well and I go home and I do well, I could be back to work at the 90-day mark. Really, I could be back at work at the 60-day mark if I'm doing really well. My goal is, with God's grace, and I no longer use that word flippantly. A lot of people say, with God's grace and blessings. Well, my thinking has totally changed. When stuff can go wrong, and You can die. That's where I'm at. God's grace really turns into something different. You've been you know, we all say, you know, with God's grace, but man, that's what I really need right now. God's grace, not just some word that we use, but that's what it all boils down to. So, just laying it all out here. So when he first sold me this bill of goods, he said, "I put you in the hospital. You're fine right now. I'll put you in the hospital 30 days. You could be dead from infection." I said, okay. He said, or, you know, you could be doing great. Also, you know, things can go wrong down the road. But the goal mark is what we're shooting for, with no hiccups, no nothing, is the first 90 days up to a year. He said 3 out of 10 transplant patients from what I'm doing are dead. And I said, so what kills them? And he said, you know, it's from complications, infections, the disease coming back, where I'm not at the you die stage of this disease. I'm still in the growing, processing. God's hand has had to have been on me, because I'm 6, almost 7 years in, and it has not converted. And he said, you can take a chance, not do it, and it not convert. But he said, once you convert to leukemia, it'll be really hard to get rid of it. So, with all that being said, we're going to do a bone marrow transplant in 46 weeks, and depending on God's grace and mercy to lead us through it. I could not do it and take my chances, roll the dice. Once it converts, it could be very aggressive and run through my system, and I'm out. But I want to get some of my retirement money back. Yeah. You know, all the money I paid in. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to cut this off. It's been running for almost 15 minutes. Please keep watching. Like, subscribe, you know, do whatever. But yeah, pass this on to people you know. Pass the video on so that they can watch it and learn. I'm going to be doing videos in the hospital. I will probably right before, I forgot. So the day before I go in the hospital, they're going to put a central line in me and then let me go home so they can give the chemo. I don't know which side, but they're going to put a central line in me, and then I'll go in and start getting treatment. But before the central line happens, I am going to go see my barber and shave my head, and then because I don't want to be reaching up there and it falling out. I'm gonna take a razor per se clipper with me. I'm not cutting my beard until it starts pulling out. When it starts coming out, I'll cut my beard. There it is. So keep watching. Like I said, keep watching, pass it on. And for those of you who have this myelodysplasic syndrome, I pray for you. I pray for you that you have good doctors and you walk through this very strongly. Be strong. That's all you got. Just be strong and know that I hate to say this, but be prepared for the worst. Don't go out without knowing Jesus. It's not just something I'm saying. I firmly believe in it. If you don't know Jesus and you're going through this and you're going to be facing chemo and leukemia and possibility of dying. Man, if you're atheist, realize it takes more to believe in nothing than to believe in God. God believes in you. Our planet, it's the only one out here that's got stuff on it that, animals, all that business about, it's got microorbials. It's not life. God created life here. He made this place for us to live. If you are atheist, no matter what, God loves you. And it's never too late. It's never too late. God, He's a gracious God. But don't wait too late. Love y'all. Peace out.